Good evening. Good evening. It's time for AEW Watch-Along with Boris. Da, 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 da. I don't have an opening video or anything, so I decided today that I would sing the opening, and it wasn't great. Welcome to another Wednesday night AEW Dynamite Watch-Along with me. I appreciate you hanging out and listening to me bore you with my opinion. A couple of things. I watched Battle of the Belts, and I hadn't watched the Battle of the Belts before, and it was underwhelming. Like, it was fine. It was a fine hour of television, but I mean, Okada and Kyle O'Reilly was good. I think that squash match didn't really have any place on there, and the women's match was okay. I understand it's kind of supposed to be their answer to Clash of Champions. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that, but I wouldn't hold it in the esteem of Clash of Champions, but I mean, it was an easy, fun hour of content, of wrestling. So, I'll probably keep an eye out on those. Tonight, we've got Chris Jericho and Mark Briscoe in a ladder war for the Ring of Honor title and a bunch of other stuff. TSN 2 here in Canada is wrapping up the NFL season. The Raiders lost again because they're terrible and we picked a crappy team. But we're going to be popping up here in a few more minutes for AEW Dynamite. So I'm just going to back out for a second to make sure I got everything ready. So stick around and we'll be going to the show momentarily. I got to tell you, NFL films really do a good job of making this stuff seem even more dramatic than normal. While we're waiting for the show to start, a couple of little housekeeping notes. Of course, this week it's LPW show week. So if you're in the Edmonton area tomorrow night, get your butt down to the Rec Room at South Common. $10 will get you in. There's 4 matches. We've got some fun stuff. We got some imitation game stuff going. I don't have graphics with me, unfortunately, to show you. But that is going to be a super, super fun show. And then, of course, Friday night is the big show, LPW 31, Diary of a Mad Grappler. We've got all kinds of stuff. The graphic I decided to pull is, of course, Matt Viviani making his LPW debut, taking on T.Y. Jackson. That's going to be a lot of fun. And there's so much other stuff going on. Of course, the main event, Blake Christian taking on Mars the Specialist for the LPW Grand Championship. It's going to be a really, really fun show. If you're not in the Edmonton area, make sure to pop on to your IWTV prescription and watch the show 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. Do not miss it. And then, of course, the highlight of everyone's week, or maybe just mine, is, of course, Saturday Night Love. And this week is the Saturday Night Love Halloween special. What does that mean? I have no idea. I know I have a confirmed guest, which, of course, is this pumpkinhead himself, Thaddeus Archer III. Hang on a second. Wait a minute.
Sure.
What's going on, big fella?
I'm good, man. I'm still setting up, but I did want to let you know that you do have a compatriot for at least a good chunk of the Dynamite Watch-Along tonight. Usually, I don't have like a TV in my office, so I've got to set up in like an entirely different location. But
okay,
let's watch some Dynamite. I'm excited. I'm excited for tonight.
I thought you were setting up the ring.
Well, where I was gonna go, where I was gonna go is if I'm gonna throw shade for Ring Crew, like I might as well hop on the stream.
See, that's what I thought you were doing to me, and I was like, "That's subtle as a sledgehammer." Thanks, brother.
Nah, see, if I'm gonna underbus anybody, I'm gonna be right under the bus beside you. So I'll be back in a couple of seconds. Admittedly, I won't have a lot of like sound on for Dynamite, but I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'm just gonna grab my dog, like his dinner and that sort of stuff.
Thanks, brother.
Say hi before stuff started. I'll see you soon.
Cool, man. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna boot him out of here while we're waiting for him. Spencer, I booted you out of here. No disrespect intended. AEW Dynamite is on the air. We've got a replay of what went on last week. At the beginning of Battle of the Belts, they showed the end of Collision, and there was a big Blackpool Combat Club brawl type thing, and Orange Cassidy came out and then turned and walked away. And I wonder if they're planting a seed of a heel turn on Orange Cassidy. Somebody on the social medias of the Reddit said he should be Blood Orange Cassidy, which I thought was actually pretty good. It's one of those things where I'm like, why didn't I think of that? But nonetheless, Spencer missed all the great hyping up of the live events that I just did. I talked about tomorrow night. I talked about Friday night. I didn't talk about the Oil Rumble, but that's in the future. Let's get through damn Christmas first. Why is John Moxley in the desert? It's a question I don't have an answer for. Yeah, that clip there of Orange Cassidy turning and walking away, that was interesting. He's not that guy. I'm going to mute my microphone while I rustle around here. Bear with me, gentlemen and ladies and people. All of the people.
Don't worry, I'm back. I'm not rustling. I'm not wrestling. I'm just trying to vamp while Boris wrestles. Boris has also wrestled. There's two things that I've never done in my life.
It's like Russell. Have you ever had a match? No?
Nope. Never.
Well.
And I don't know if it was you and I that was chatting about this or whom I was chatting about this with, but like the more and more I get into professional wrestling and the business end of things and promoting and ringing out, yada, yada, the less I want to actually wrestle a match.
That's an interesting take, actually, and I respect that. We saw moments ago a clip. The entire babyface roster is outside in the parking lot. That's where all like the crap really goes down. See, I'm not going to swear like Pluggo and Blair Pacheco.
I heard your comment on Blood Orange Cassidy, and I think that's hilarious.
Because like I was gonna somebody on social medias, but yeah,
whoever it might be, I was gonna come back with like Orange Cassidy Wolf Pack, but like Blood Orange Cassidy is way better. Like, it just objectively is
going over the card. So can you see Dynamite from where you are?
I can see Dynamite. Like I said, I moved, so like I won't hear any like specific commentary points or anything like that, and I'll probably be real quiet while people are cutting promos.
How's the pup?
I'm trying to. He's good. He's been doing really, really well. And they've been very good so far. But I'm going to wait until the training's done to put over like the online training center I'm going through right now. Enough. Because Rip is like the sweetest little dog with humans, and he loves people. But like he was a street dog, and I only foster failed on him about a year ago. So he's still very much learning how to like be around other dogs and like walk past rabbits and the crap like that. So we've been doing online training for about the last 2 weeks, and he's nailing it. Pup is good. Anyways, here's Tony.
Here comes the Hangman, Adam Page. Now, I was doing some business here. I had this bad boy here, hyping up the show.
Hell yeah.
Hyping up Saturday Night Love, of course, because I'm a patriotic man, Spencer. You know that. I love our country. I believe in our country, so I salute the flag every day when I get up in the morning. Here comes
I believe strongly in the separation of church and state, but Sheikh Shabazz, in the nicest of ways, falls right in between both of those things. He is both church and state.
To bust out this old... Apparently, the Jacked and Juicy shirts were flying off the shelves. You don't get a cut of that either, do you?
I will... here's a nice little... No, here's actually a nice little Love Pro Wrestling insider for you. That is the single highest piece of merchandise we've ever sold. any of our wrestlers, anything like that. That is the highest single piece of merchandise.
I
there are
think
other people who have...
may change this week because the Short Kings new shirts are out, and the commercial they filmed is fantastic, and MRB's got a new shirt out, but I'm mad at MRB.
I can't believe Elliot Tyler's a version exclusive. Like that's the tough part, is like you're gonna have to find a friend and like trade with Thickness to get him in your Mars version and all that sort of stuff.
MRB does not make shirts for the husky gentleman.
I actually, I'm very excited for that one, because lots of love to Pro Wrestling Tees. I think they put out a great product, but being a Canadian, it's so tough to order just based on the shipping alone.
Timely,
yeah. So it's so very nice to have a shirt that you can at least pre-order and get in locally.
One of the guns has attacked. I might be a little ahead. Apparently, I'm ahead of whoever watches.
You're about 5 seconds ahead of me, because you said gun. I turned back to the screen, and that's when he jumped. So you seem to be about 5. I don't know about you, man, because like I've been very much listening to the podcast, but haven't been watching, admittedly, a ton of Dynamite just with the schedule over the last little bit.
Yeah.
Man, by my money, and take it for what it's worth, when a lot of it's from like social media clips, like Hangman Page he's got to be one of the most interesting dudes in wrestling. And I don't have a better or more eloquent way to put it, but like anytime Hangman Adam Page is on screen or sending out a promo, I'm interested. And that's been consistent since the start. That's been since the start of All Elite. That really has been.
Like, he was one of those guys that was really lucky to get that Bullet Club rub when it really meant something. And it kind of, like, he's always been talented, but he just needed something to kind of prop him up a little bit. And once he got that Bullet Club rub, there was no stopping him.
Yeah.
Here comes Jay White. Speaking of Bullet Club rubs.
I've been loving this. You and I had talked about it there on Sunday morning, but like Hangman and Switchblade was one of my favorite matches, if not honestly my favorite match there at Wrestle Dream. Yeah. It's hard not to say Mox and Daniel Bryan, especially with everything that sort of came out of it. But like, what a goddamn great match. I'm excited if they're going forward with this.
And when you're opening your pay-per-view with that, you know, set you up in a good spot.
I was going to say an embarrassment of riches. Yeah. Is that the phrase? Like,
well, it's kind of like what we got. I saw the sheets. I know how we're opening the show on Friday. And I mean, come on. Is that a Brainbuster brew?
It is, in fact, a Brainbuster brew. I'm having my one because obviously I've got to drive the ring truck and that sort of stuff. But if I'm going to hop on with you, you know, I got to be honest. Normally, I don't have a beverage on our brunch gimmick. I'll usually have like my 2 coffee system going that Zach hates. But it's an evening stream with Boris and Spencer. At some point here, I'm going to have to hop on and grab my computer charger. But
whatever you got to do
when we get there.
Yeah, Jay White has always been a really underrated promo. Really, really good.
Unbelievably good.
They don't use the Bullet Club thing anymore because apparently they got to still throw New Japan a bunch of money, so they've kind of transitioned away from that.
Yeah, I think that's why they've gone by like the Bang Bang Gang.
Yeah, and it doesn't really have the cachet that it used to anyway. So
no, and to be if we're talking strictly in like names, the Bang Bang Gang is way fucking cooler than the Bullet Club as far as strictly name goes.
I googled that and safe search was off.
Yeah, that's
come on.
What was it? Was it the Banger Bros that Drew McIntyre and Sheamus were doing for all of 1 week?
Okay, first of all, Ophelia, listen, all right? It's not that hard to deal with me. I want to wish Ophelia a happy belated birthday. It was the birthday yesterday. She's a great fan. She is a big fan. Not a fan of mine, but like a fan in general. But Ophelia,
I was going to say this tomorrow night in the ring.
If you're watching, hang on 1 sec.
Oh, I'll hang on and then I'll put you over. I was saving this for tomorrow. If you're hopping in the chat, I can't wait and like put it on.
I never go a day without my
Oh!
My inspirational potato sits right on the shelf underneath the ridiculously expensive Boristron 5000. So
That's so rad. I never noticed that.
don't think that I threw it in the garbage. No, I gave it a prominent spot. It actually, if you bear with me again.
Of course. Boris, it's your show.
The inspirational potato sits with Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, that's so cool.
They hang out together.
I never saw that potato. That's so rad. I feel like, honestly, man, I feel like we were going to be about equal in what we were going to say, and then you just blew me out of the water.
That was a gift that she gave to me at a show that I thought was very, very sweet.
That's so rad. I've seen it before.
Great.
I just never knew it was still right there. Yeah, but huge happy birthday. Like, we wouldn't be here, and I don't think Boris or Omar or Zach or any of us would be doing what we get to do without your support. So lots of love to you. Just lots of love to you. I'll say it better tomorrow. Boris just blew me out of the water. So
I have a potato.
Hey, you did well.
When do we see Lashley? He's signed, apparently, is he not?
He is. I don't know, man. I think he's the kind of guy. I was very surprised because, and by my money, the best $5 in the biz, FightfulSelect.com. They said that he was rumored, and there was a back and forth on whether or not that he was going to be a part of Wrestle Dream as part of that segment there with Swerve and Shelton and all that sort of stuff. The reason that he wasn't, again, rumored on this end of things, was that, they didn't want two Seattle guys getting absolutely destroyed at the same show in their hometown. But I do think, for me, Bobby Lashley is that's the kind of guy you bring in on a pay-per-view because he's worth that money. And that's not to say people hopping on TV or making their debuts on TV are not worth that money, but Lashley's going to come in and turn some heads in a way that I don't think many people have been able to do for AEW. I really do. And Michael will back you up on this, and a few people will back you up on this, but I, for the longest time, was not a Bobby Lashley guy.
I wasn't either, and that's very, very true. I remember back in the day, Sammy Guevara working PWG shows with a panda panda toque thing on.
Yep.
He's come a long way too.
I remember exactly where I was sitting when he wrestled Cody Rhodes in the first ever match on Dynamite. I was sitting.
Okay.
Yep. It was Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes won. Yeah, I can tell you exactly where I was sitting, but I'm not going to put over my axe.
We're positive potato on this show.
I was going to say good person ain't going to bury.
Whatever happened to that Cody Rhodes guy anyway?
Did some things, 30 miler.
He kicked my...
That, I hope you guys all know, is 100% a joke. If anybody clips that out of context, I'll build enough bulk to kick your ass. Shit.
No, I just saw Shelton heave this guy. He kicked my sound cord out of the wall at the Northgate Line Center. He kicked my sound cord out of the wall, and he apologized to me. I'm like, no, it's all good. And afterwards, I was like, why did you yell at Cody Rhodes? You would have yelled at one of us. I'm like, bro, I'm not going to yell at Cody Rhodes. But he showed up in the suit, the whole thing. He was a pro. Great guy.
He seems like the man. So when I went to All In 2018, I ended up, and I quite shit you not, bumping into Cody Rhodes and Pharaoh while he was walking out of the bathroom and I was walking in. And he was in all Bullet Club gear and I don't know what you call it, almost like an Army Ranger sort of hat so that people would notice who he was. And literally just walked by and was like, man, that was a pretty rad show. Thanks. And kept on going. That is the 14-second interaction I've ever had. I met Okada that weekend, which was weird.
Oh, really?
I met Punk that weekend, too.
I've never met either one. Is Okada deceptively tall? Taller than I think he is?
I think every wrestler is taller than I think they are.
That's fair. I saw Drew McIntyre at the airport in San Francisco for
horrifyingly tall.
And he is he looks big on TV, but I was like, my God, he blocked the sun out.
Terrifying.
Kane was like that too. Kane looks big on TV,
Orton.
But in person,
Randy Orton's
Kane's
6'8". Yeah. Yep. Randy Orton's a goddamn giant.
So I must look like a big fat house on TV if I ever got on TV.
I will look exactly as I do, which, let me tell you, Boris, isn't very good now and is going to be worse through the month of November because I am joining up with the Sherwood Park Crusaders. Not joining up, but joining up on the campaign for the Sherwood Park Crusaders as part of Movember. We've raised $10K over the last 5 years for the Movember campaign, which raises money for men's mental health and men's cancers. So I am going to be growing an awful mustache.
First of all, kudos to Blair on the Alley Catch interview.
That's
up now, ready for people to
how
view,
fucking much? We're past 10 minutes too. So how fucking much does Blair rule?
Yes, I love Blair. I don't think
Very
Blair likes
hard.
me, and that's a bit of a shoot because whenever I'm on streams with Blair, I tend to get a little silly, and he tries to like steer the ship in a straightforward direction, and I don't really float that way, if that makes sense. But yeah, great job with that thing. And Blair's,
you guys are 3 of the 4 Golden Girls.
And he's
like,
jacked.
there's got to be some arguments. Somebody's got to be mad. I would hop on if I could make some unbiased picks. It's just hard to make unbiased picks when you promote the shows.
But with the hat thing, Blair, I got a big bald spot here, so I like to keep my head shaved. And I'm into a routine now where I shave my head show week so that I can go to the show, and if I'm ever on, whatever, then I have a nice shaved head. So by the time we get to like the week before show week, the hair is growing out, the bald spots there, I look terrible, so then I throw a hat on. But this is a nice Calgary Flames hat. How good are the Flames doing? What's going on with the Oilers, Spencer? We're not talking about Dynamite at all.
No, but that, you know what? That's fine. It's Dynamite where Chris Jericho is probably going to win the Ring of Honor championship.
Jeez,
so.
I don't want that.
You know what, Boris? I'll double or nothing you. Here's what we'll do to bring it back to Dynamite. If Chris Jericho wins the ROH World Championship tonight in the main event, I don't have to wear any Flames jersey tomorrow. And if he doesn't, if Briscoe retains, I'll wear one on Friday too.
I'm going to say no to that bet, and I'll tell you why. Because I never, ever, I'm a Flames fan. We don't win nothing. I never win bets, so you're wearing that goddamn jersey on Thursday.
Yes. I get your logic. I still think the Oilers, and I love this team, and we are good, but I still think this team sucks based on my real frustration between the years of 2007 and 2017. I'm still getting over that.
It's just like last year. I think they're going to be okay. I think everything's going to settle the way it should, and the Oilers are going to go up here, and the Flames are going to go down here. But I'm enjoying the little run. We're playing hard, and
I still think the Oilers are going to win the cup. That being said, and you can tweet this or X this or post this, Jeremy Lambert,
guy.
How are your Avalanche doing? Because I think they're missing the playoffs.
I don't know nothing about the Avalanche. Couldn't tell you.
The Avalanche, they, in a way that even the Oilers, and I don't think they need it at all, don't get me wrong, but that's one of the biggest things is they need defense and goaltending.
Yeah.
If you think the Oilers do, take a look at the Avalanche right now.
And I will say this, and I'm saying this objectively, and I know that you're going to think that I'm being a homer, but I'm being objective. The Flames black blasty jersey is by far the best jersey in hockey. That jersey is, as the kids say, that jersey is sick, bro.
It's lit. It's fun. It's hype.
Lit.
And that's no cap.
It's fresh. I don't know.
You know what? I agree, but I will say the original like blasty jerseys were better than the like remakes they've got now.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's a weird way to put it, but like I also think you'll get this in a wrestling context. It's too slick. Like it's
original red logo on the shoulder.
Is anybody else impressed that I remember the entire Quizplex theme song?
New white logo on the shoulder. The bottom's different. The bottom's got the black on it. The original's got the red on it. Whatever.
Yeah. I will stand by my pick of the original while still waiting for my recognition that like I can sing the full Quizplex song. And don't worry, chat, I will I will be sure to bring this up again when Boris gets his headphones on. When you rewind this 30 seconds,
Did you
just
slam
please...
me?
No, I didn't. I sang the entire Quizplex theme song. And
Side
I'm pretty
note,
impressed that I remember the Quizplex theme song.
That overhead...
Like
I'm going to try to talk about Dynamite now. That overhead camera, we need to stick a camera up in that upper deck somehow. Because that overhead shot, I love that shot. It makes the bumps
that for a
look
while.
so much...
Even if not for the live, for the
edit,
post production. Oh my gosh, right there in the middle of the balcony, I would love it. Love it.
Yes, the closet in Big Bad Boris World Headquarters is literally my jersey closet.
How many did you say you have?
26 Flames, 24 Blue Jays, and then there's Stampeders and miscellaneous ones I've collected over the years.
I have like 11 total jerseys, and one of them is a Shane McMahon jersey.
I have a WrestleMania 31 jersey that's too small for me. Hi, Alice. What you doing?
I have a WrestleMania 32 jersey. It's the Shane McMahon like return jersey.
They fit really small though, the WWE jerseys. I don't like them.
Brother, I'm really small. Like, look at me. This is not an athlete's body. This is a podcaster's body.
Look, it's an Alice.
Hey, Alice.
Hi, Alice. You're famous now on the internet. Like my girlfriend's feet. Oh, there you go. Somebody clip that.
There's
They're probably better hosts than we are anyway.
Yeah, but they're pretty quiet.
This has probably been a really good match.
It has been, and the more I watch it, like, it's gonna be... You could almost debut Bobby Lashley, like, to ruin this match.
I think
I don't
MVP,
know, man.
MVP's a working Kane. I was wondering if that was a shoot Kane or a working Kane, because apparently he's booked for Bloodsport or something, if I saw the internet correctly.
I'm so psyched. Oh my God, that's gonna rule. It's him and Barnett. Like, they've announced a match now.
Oh, is that who he's... Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It's funny because Bloodsport, it's like my show from WrestleMania week that I'd kind of whatever, and I always end up loving it. Because my thoughts on that is, like, if I want to watch MMA, I'll watch MMA. So it's like, I'll watch it, but it's not one of the ones I look forward to the most, but it's always a great, great show.
And I was going to say it's, and I mean this, I guess, hear me out on it. Like, it's always my most hit or miss show for WrestleMania week, because there are so many matches that I love so much. But there are a lot of matches, like you say, there are some that you could just watch MMA with, I've found. And I'm not an MMA guy. One of my favorite things about pro wrestling is, that people are going to go out there and beat the shit out of each other, but also, like, do their best to make sure that everybody gets home safe. And as cheesy as that sounds, that's like a real differentiator for me. So there are sometimes matches in Bloodsport where, like, they go too far in that direction for me.
Yeah.
But, like, the matches I love, the matches I fucking love.
I'd like
and MVP getting in there,
like
they always bring in so many cool people. Yeah, I think it was actually, was it 365? And I'm going to take a second here, actually, to put over Elliot Tyler. Like, I know you did there the other night, too, when you were doing For Exposure. But, like, where I'm transitioning here is in the short. No pun intended. I believe he won
next week. Anyway, sorry.
I believe he won the 365 championship in a no ropes ring against Devin Shooter. But I tweeted this yesterday too. Like, just huge shout out to Ali. Like, I was already so excited for his match here on Friday night against MRB, but, like, he's hit a whole new level over the last few months.
I'm gonna send
again,
you
it's one of those things.
Chat.
Please do. But that guy's hit a whole new level, and I'm super psyched for this one. I know you're not good at talking and typing at the same time.
No, I'm not good at anything, really.
Hey, that's not right.
So hey, Anna Jay won the she won the Eliminator gimmick thing. All right, so you've given me permission, so we're gonna say the opening contest.
That's how quickly. I never know how quickly these chats go.
It's pretty quick. The opening matchup, the curtain jerker, if you will, much like we were saying, Jay White and Hangman, like what a great way to open the show. We're going to open LPW 31, Dire of a Mad Grappler, with Michael Richard Blaze defending the LPW Challenge Championship against the very aforementioned Elliot Tyler. That's how you do that.
Hell yeah, Boris. I'm psyched because, like, again, I'm always happy to put over Elliot right now, and especially after everything there with Larry and sort of the way things have been handled over the last few months. I can't say I'm all that happy with MRB, but like it is hard to deny that guy is like one of, if not the best wrestler in Canada.
Yeah,
it's really
like one of those you don't have to like, but you have to respect kind of thing.
Perfectly put. Like, even just the last couple of months, dude, and this is somewhat selfish of me to say, but like, man, I haven't even had the chance to like intro people, which is one of my favorite things, because between Ride or Die, the entire clandestine society, like, yeah, you can't like the way they've done it in some ways, but you can't argue that MRB is one of the best of the best, if not the best of the best. So
Kyle Fletcher has a punchable face, and I think that's so great for a heel.
He's
like,
so
I think
good.
Sammy Guevara has a punchable face. I think Jordan Oliver has a punchable face too, but he had a really good baby face run before he got hurt. Oh, speaking of which, sort of, apparently GCW is announcing all the details for the collective on Tuesday, so I'm super excited for that.
Are you doing, and this is probably more for the private conversation?
Whatever you're going to ask me, the answer is no.
Are you? Well, you're not going to WrestleMania?
No, God, I can't. I'm so poor, dude. No, I
What
take the week off and I sit. What's that?
What if a guy had a hotel already?
We'll talk off the air.
That's why I said it's probably a chat for off.
Like I am not a wealthy man. I book the week off and sit in front of my TV. You know that. Well, we can talk.
Of course, I'm a wrestling promoter. You think I'm a wealthy man?
Yeah. Poor Don Callis is going to have that scar on his head forever. Didn't he get tackled into a light or something that happened in a backstage segment? Or was that the one in Mexico where he got that scar?
I admittedly, I can't speak to that, and I'm sorry to sort of sidetrack here and I'll cut myself off if they start cutting a promo. But like, man, huge shout out, because one of my biggest, like, it's weird to say concern, because MLP, Maple Leaf Pro, was always going to be great. So it's hard to say concern. But like, I was kind of worried about the dynamic with Morrow and Don Callis, because I really don't like a heel commentator. I thought they walked a really great line with it, and I thought they absolutely killed it.
I haven't watched it yet. It's on my list of things to do, because I hear Speedball and Takeshita killed it as well.
Yeah, that's going to be on my matches of the year by the end of the year.
Really that good?
I have kept my list up. I've actually done it.
I used to do that.
This is the first year I always try, and I've started. And if you go back and watch some of like our year-end vlogs and stuff like that here on Love Wrestling, like most of my matches of the year probably go up until like April, and then I'll try and mention one later. But I usually just like lose track. There's so much great wrestling right now, so I've kept up with my list. I'm very excited.
Yeah, I'm not a religious man, but we're absolutely blessed with the amount of content and good content we get.
Like, actually, I'm just going to pull up one here on my list of matches of the year that I bet you've forgotten about. Remember Josh Alexander versus Will Ospreay at TNA Snake Eyes?
Never saw it.
Ruled!
Really?
It ruled so hard.
See, there's just so much. Like, I thought, like, I see when
that's why I have to keep a list, is I forget so much shit.
I can't watch like Blair and those guys. Like when they do the For Exposure show, they're like, oh my God, like Wrestling Revolver has this great show. Like, where do you find the time to watch all the stuff?
Lack of sleep for most of us.
Well, I'm old and lazy. I need that sleep.
I'm crossing that threshold. I was talking with someone yesterday about.
I am a positive potato.
See, I'm a couch potato. Like if I lay on the couch to watch anything, I will probably fall asleep. That's where I'm at, is like, I don't consciously like plan naps, but I do know that I'm going to take a nap at some point in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like at some point I'll be like, let's watch something. And then I'll fall asleep.
This match is really, I haven't seen the Barbie movie yet, but I really want to.
It's very good.
Kyle Fletcher is Australian, correct?
Yes.
Or am I being racist? I don't want to be racist.
Nope. He's Australian. Actually, man, like it's been pretty cool. What was her? I know it was Delta. I forget. It started with a Z. Made her very, very brief debut for NXT last night. It's been real cool, man. And like,
was that Zarya or whoever that? Who is that? Because
I believe so. So I've got to be honest with you.
But I saw social media posts and it was like a big deal that she appeared. And like, no
It's
disrespect, but I have no idea who that
deal. I've only really been watching her work for the last couple of months. Because again, huge shout out to Josh Robinson. He introduced me to her.
Okay.
So I've only watched a few matches. The one that I would recommend off the bat, if you want like a really good introduction, is when I believe it was WSW. They're like a touring promotion or Australia only that does. I'm batting out of my league, I should just say. So they do some shows every year. I think they did like a 4 or 5 show tour in Australia, and it was Delta versus Jordan Grace for the TNA World Championship, the Women's World Championship, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah,
very similar wrestlers. Yeah, and very similar. Like if you want someone who's just going to go out there and in all the right ways for wrestling, beat the shit out of someone, thank you, Ophelia Zarya.
We should just bring her, Ophelia, in here because she's smarter than both of us put together.
Hey, she's always welcome. But I'm very excited because between her, between Julia, between Stephanie Vaquer, between Cora Jade just coming back, there are so many women that are so ready for, and not greater things as an insult, but like how many of those women would already be killing it on Raw or SmackDown? Like we're going to be watching NXT over the next little bit and like everybody's going to be eating because all of these matches are going to be great. There are so many peaks and valleys, and welcome to our AEW Dynamite Watch-Along. But but there are so many peaks and valleys, rightfully so, in NXT by the fact that they're a developmental promotion. So everybody develops and they're at their height, and then you re-sign all of these people. So over the next few months, Roxanne Perez, Cora Jade, JC Jane, I think has been ready for the main roster for months, if not years. Fallon Henley even. They're going to go up to Raw and SmackDown, kill it there. Like, what a division with Zarya and Julia and Stephanie Vaquer and Kiana Jordan, excuse me. Like, there's so many great wrestlers on the precipice in NXT.
On Friday, could you bust out some Don Callis shoes?
I'm a wrestling promoter. I hate money.
I didn't say they had to be expensive shoes.
No, So I will admit I am working out still. I've got the good base for my costume right now. I'm still waiting on a couple of pieces from Amazon that I'm like a little nervous about. So, so I might have to revise tomorrow.
I'm debating if I'm going to dress up or not. Like I don't really have much to wear, and I kind of have to sit in that chair and yell.
That's fair.
I'm not fun.
I think that's fair. We've got a lot of you are fun. Don't get me wrong there.
I get to host the costume contest, and that
I was going to say dress up for the costume contest, and then undress sounds weird.
I want to know why I'm not on the poster for advertising the for the hosting the costume contest. That will bring in a grand total of 0 people.
Be nice.
Hey, apparently we suck, by the way.
Said Kyle Fletcher?
No. We just suck, but that's okay.
Thanks, Andraves Gaming. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your view.
So the other guy in Aussie Open, did he get hurt? I don't know.
Mark Davis, I believe his name is. And and he was out for about a year.
Because I know he was out and then came back, and I think he got hurt again.
Yeah. I genuinely do. Ophelia, that is the best idea I've observed in a long time.
I can afford that, actually.
So yeah, he got hurt and was going to be out for about a year, like 8 months ago. So I even think there's still time on him being injured. And I mean this in the nicest of ways, but like, man, Kyle Fletcher is like, he's a star. I really, really think that. And not that they weren't great as a tag team, but like, is he shaving his head?
Yeah, because he's saying that he's not anything like Will Ospreay. He does not look like him. He doesn't act like him. He doesn't wrestle like him.
Will Ospreay isn't particularly long-haired.
That's cool. You know what? I dig this. I think this is cool.
This
reminds me of when the Millennial Rebels cut MRB's hair in the ring, and they didn't tell me they were doing it. So I had a legit shoot reaction. That's solid. I think that's cool. I am all in favor of that.
Yeah. I just think maybe shave a little more. I mean, they'll do that in the back.
They'll finish the job.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not an esthetician. Esthetician? Is it a 3 or a 4 syllable word? That's where I always get screwed up on it. Esthetician?
Someone who takes esthetician.
Esthetician, thank you.
I believe. I've never seen one, as you can tell by looking at my aesthetic.
I got called out. You're gonna laugh about this, and actually they'll laugh about this too. But like, I got called out by someone in the back room last month because I always do my like blank and I when someone says, "Oh, me and this person," and I'll always call them out, and people hate it, but it's my own funny little joke for me. But someone backstage last month called me out. They're like, "You know, you say you've seen a lot of things, Spencer," and I'm like, "What?" And I got called completely out for my own grammar, and I've been very self-conscious on my use of the word "seen" lately. So, do you know how much I've observed lately?
What are those 2 championships behind you? I think what's the one on the top? That looks like a white Intercontinental title. Is that
actually? This doesn't stretch far, so I'm still going to sit here. This is sort of like what I'm trying. Teehee. The top one there is an Intercontinental Championship, the white title. I got that as a Christmas gift from my brother when I was, probably 25 or 26. And so I've got that there. And then the second there is actually the original Grand Championship. The original Love Pro Wrestling Grand Championship
that I wanted you to give me, but you said no.
Nope, I kept her. The hats there are actually Boris for a quick little tour. I have 2 Win Column Sports hats,
old school,
and 1 WCSN hat. One is signed, ironically enough, from when I went to All In and met CM Punk. One of them is signed by Chris Jericho. And then I also have in a little picture frame here, Stuart Garvey's campaign poster.
I think that's cool though. Like that's like the stuff that makes wrestling great is little things like that.
Oh,
like,
I think so too. I love it, but it's kind of funny like to go through all of it, be like, here's our original championship. Here is my autograph from these people. Here is Stuart Garvey's campaign poster for Referee of the Year, which he did win.
I was going to say, he won, though.
He won that year. I don't have the... I wonder, actually. Give me about 2 seconds here. I think I have the campaign poster from 2023 that he didn't.
I have yet to win an award at LPW. I've yet to be nominated for an award at LPW. I can't even spell LPW.
You're gonna laugh even harder at this.
What do we got here?
So one of my favorite things we've done with Love Pro Wrestling is even in the lead up to our first few shows, we told some really great stories. So in the lead up to LPW 2, your debut with the promotion, Boris.
That's true. Yep.
I don't know if you remember the story that we built around a specific triple threat match with Jack Pride, Mo Jabari, and Lumberjack Larry Woods.
You'd have to refresh my memory. I'm so bad.
Was that we didn't know if Larry was going to be there.
Because he was missing, and there was like missing posters and milk cartons. And
so what I just found.
There you go. Oh, we got some Maple Leaf Pro.
Original.
Sorry to cut you off, but some Maple Leaf Pro footage here on old AEW. Now, listen, I should have done this while the commercial was going on, but I'm an old man and I need to use a little Boris's room. So what's going to happen here is you're going to carry the bulk. It's an honor to be nominated. I'm never nominated. I haven't been nominated for nothing. And see, Pluggo here sexy stash of the year. The stash is gone. I don't know if you could tell, but I've actually kind of cleaned the face up a little bit. I realized the stash wasn't working. I wasn't feeling it. I don't know. I'm looking for something. I'm going to be like for real
That's
for
okay.
a second, but I'm looking for something inside myself that I don't think is there.
The sexy stash of the year?
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway,
what
I
it's
have
worth,
to use
Boris,
the
I am doing a mullet right now. I'm starting to grow my mullet out.
I should see if I can find old mullet
for the
pictures
rest of the
you.
year.
Anyway, you hold the
Please
load
do.
here for a couple of seconds here while I use the little Boris's room.
Okay. I really think we need to work on the phrasing there with hold the load. But
Hold-
all right.
Listen, I'm gonna give this load to you.
Oh, geez. All right. Welcome, everybody. I'm sorry. Now that I've got the reins, obviously things will get much more mature and laid back. I am, and I want to listen to this because I'm very excited to see what the story with Shelton Benjamin and the Hurt Business, or the Hurt Syndicate, excuse me, and Ricochet goes. But like, huge shout out to AEW for tonight for showing that footage from Maple Leaf Pro, because like, it's so goddamn cool, you guys, to see professional wrestling promotions working together, helping promote each other, even with little stuff like that. You know, for a promotion like Maple Leaf Pro, who run by, you know, Scott D'Amore is objectively one of the smartest guys in the business, in my opinion. But he's still the head of a brand new promotion, and the miles that it goes to see All Elite Wrestling putting his stuff out there and the work that Maple Leaf Pro did this weekend out there is so cool.
Ricochet showed up at Maple Leaf Pro, did he not?
Yeah, he did, and that's where I was going to go. I was over talking as usual. They did a quick little segment there that I talked over between MVP Shelton Benjamin and Ricochet backstage.
Okay.
Which was cool. So I'll have to watch that back, admittedly, before brunch this Sunday. But this tag team could potentially, yeah, they could fucking rule.
I don't like people on social medias are calling Lance Archer like Timu Drew McIntyre, which I think is not cool.
I hate that stuff, man. That's the thing. Like, it's going to be, I don't know. It's going to be the weirdest way that I can put it. But like, man, I just, you're looking for stuff like that for clicks. There's really no other reason to be doing stuff like that.
See, like that match that happened on Battle of the Belts could have happened here. Who's this dude with the makeup? Or is this just...
I believe this is local tag team.
Oh.
I'm grabbing my charger. I can still hear you.
So this is just cannon fodder, basically, but that's all good with me.
That is the thought there.
Brian Cage is a monster. He's always been a monster, but he's super agile. And I think it's good for a team like this because we see squash matches and job matches all the time, and a lot of times it's your local guys who may be on the smaller side. And I think it's cool to bring out a couple of big guys because like this puts over Archer and Cage even more, that there's guys that are kind of comparable in size and they still mow through them.
I got to move this a little bit. My cable isn't phrasing. I'm going to leave that one alone. Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes. Here's the thing that I really dislike in a lot of facets, and that's not AEW specific, but like how many times, and rightfully so, have we heard, man, Lance Archer is too good. We've got to get him on TV. We've got to get him on TV. And then you get him on TV and the first thing is a complaint. Like, I certainly understand if a storyline isn't for you, or if in the long term something doesn't work for you. Like this is week 2 or week 3 of him sort of doing his current iteration. It's been a month at most.
Yeah, you've got to have some patience.
Yeah. And like,
just a quick reminder, Friday night, 7:00 p.m. Mount Center.
You rule, Boris.
Eastern on the see, I think that I could do the Excalibur mow through the card quick thing. I think if we like tried that on 4 Exposure and gave me like 12 seconds with each graphic, I think I could do it. But
I can set that up for you in and we can have it ready for like half an hour from now.
Oh, okay. Let's try it.
It'll just need to export, but I'm holding you to that. But go ahead and promote while I do that.
The Halloween special Saturday Night Love. It's going to be open house. I don't know Like I believe there's a PPW show in Saskatchewan. Our friends over at PPW, so I know a lot of the folks are going to be busy over there. But I have Thaddeus Archer confirmed. I know Dustin, who I love, made a little game for us to play, and who knows what else is going to happen on Halloween, on the Halloween show for Saturday Night Love. And of course, we salute the patriotism of Canada with our new flag featuring Sheik Akbar Shabazz. We're in commercial here on AEW Dynamite after a beautiful squash match. There's some six-man action still to come. And of course, the match we're not betting on, Chris Jericho. Because Jericho already won the title. Did he not already have a reign with the ROH title?
Yeah.
So why would we need to do this again? Or am I answering my own question?
No. I was going to say, Boris, is need versus want two different things. Oh, shoot. I did this the wrong way. Not downloaded separate files.
Did you ever see this guy here? Sheik Akbar Shabazz on the $5 bill? Come on, that's good stuff.
I watch the programming.
Just to make sure that I'm not,
I watch the product.
Pole vaulting over the line. We had a fun show with Tex Gaines on last Saturday. Some good stories, some real old footage too. We dug up some old stuff. It was really fun.
Oh, I loved it. It was great to actually hear on my end of things. It's just, I've heard the story before, but I'll always love it on how Goose ended up winning the initial clusterfuck.
Yeah.
It's always great because, that was a blast of a match. I had a lot of matches I enjoyed there at Clandestine. I especially enjoyed that one because I love me a Rumble style match.
Yeah.
But I'm always a little partial, admittedly, when Goosey gets a little bit of a rub.
And Dirty Duke the week before had some fun stuff too. We watched he's in the last match club.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I still have to watch that one back. But huge shout out. Like it's not even the weirdest. It's just like when people go out of their way to say hello to you or send you a text or stuff like that, it always means the world. And Duke's always been that guy. Like the last
and he
time
put you over on the show too. He put you in LPW over. Oh, we go back in the parking lot. The baby face.
Oh no! Everybody. See, I'm still getting the commercial right now. There we go. I just got the baby faces.
Oh, Chuck Taylor is going to holler at Orange Cassidy. Chuck just looked right at the camera. Whoa. Oh, Mark Briscoe's next. So that's our hour one main event. What's the hour two main event then? That's 6-man?
I would have to assume. Man. I know it's the way that he wanted to go out with it, so don't ever get me wrong on this. But man, do I miss Chuck Taylor, and I wish that we had like the full pomp and circumstance of a retirement.
I love Chuck Taylor, yeah.
Right. And I know he went out the way that he wanted to with like putting over Trent and sort of handling that sort of stuff. But like, this is purely selfishly fan perspective on it. Man, I would have loved like the retirement tour because I will still regularly go back and watch videos mentioning Cool Dad Dan Crenshaw. Okay. That is an all time. If you ever, and this is a shoot, Cowboy, Zach, anytime we need a placeholder for a graphic or text, we put no gimmicks needed, Steve the Samurai in it, just so that we can space stuff out. And that's speaking to the personality end of things. I don't know. The guy was just like,
Chuck Taylor's really the guy that I feel like
foundational in a lot of ways to my love of wrestling.
Chuck Taylor's the guy who got it on a level that a lot of other people didn't get it.
Yeah.
And he's like, it can be this, but we can go a little wild and crazy with it, and we can get silly with it, but we can be serious with it too. Where is Trent? Is Trent hurt?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, he's a guy that got it. Putting over guys. Yeah, if we're putting over guys like Chuck Taylor and even a Colt Cabana, like we're putting guys like them over now, man, 20, 30, 40, 50 years from now, they're going to be foundational because, you know, as weird as this is going to sound when we're two guys sitting here randomly, like having a chat in Edmonton on a stream, like they were the first guys doing stuff like that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
right?
That's why I like GCW, as silly as it is to some people anyway, that Indie Wrestling Hall of Fame that they do. They're, like firing up and pumping the tires of some people that really deserved it.
Yep.
Oh, Mark Briscoe hurling the ladder in the ring.
I'm really happy that they have never made any changes to the Briscoes Titantron. It is still the Briscoes. He doesn't come out to Mark Briscoe.
Same song, same everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I will straight up say, like, I was very much, not going to lie to you, like a detractor on their end of things after finding out everything that happened in 2013.
Yeah.
But, A, when the people close to you are speaking your positives, but B, when people who don't know you from Adam are still speaking your positives as far as the changes that you've tried to make with your personal life. There were a lot of people, and there were a lot of people who didn't need to go out of their way to say they noticed Jay Briscoe making a lot of changes.
See, it's funny because it's funny you mentioned that, because I was literally thinking about it the other day, because there was some people talking about I read a lot of stuff on Reddit just because I have some extra time on my hands these days. And somebody was talking about how kind of Effie gave the seal of approval sort of thing. And I kind of went both, like, it's hard to explain, but like, it's not fair to bestow upon Effie to be like the gatekeeper of like the LGBTQ community. Like, you need his support or for him to be the one that gives you the go ahead. I don't know if I'm explaining this properly, but like, at the same time, for him to give that to you shows, that you did learn and change and understand. I don't know if I've explained that in a proper way, but
I completely get where you come from. Not to get too into it. Again, welcome to our Dynamite Watch-Along tonight.
And I love that thing that you do every show that pops me every time, because it's so true. And my ears are open because I'm right in the middle of the crowd, and my ears are open, and people's voices come through a microphone, and I'm like, MFer, I'm listening to you. Don't. But I think that, because this should be, and I don't care if it's woke and bullshit, this is a safe space for everybody.
Yeah, man. Like, let's, to be real, just, I guess, blunt with it, we are two cis white male dudes. And if we were lucky enough to find our community through professional wrestling, which, not to speak for you, but I think speaking for you a little bit, if we can make this community better for everybody, hell yeah, brother, as they say in this industry, right? So, yeah, there's the little political stance you're getting tonight. It's been very
Jericho
cool.
Still looks pretty good for however old he is, and he's still working at a pretty high level of. Because I don't know, he's got to be 50 something, right?
Yeah.
Like, he looks better than me.
It's the weirdest thing for me, the first article, ironically enough, when I'm showing a Win Column Sports shirt here, or hat here, excuse me. First article was how I thought Jericho was the greatest of all time. And this was in 2016 when he was doing like the list stuff still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I still will say, like, he's an all-time great. To say that this learning tree stuff isn't for me is an understatement in a lot of ways. And there's been a lot more miss than hit in his AEW run, in my opinion. That being said, every so often, and I'll finish here. Sorry to cut you off, but like,
no.
There's been a lot more miss than hit, but like, the stuff that hits still hits. Like, that whole feud with MJF was rad. I had such a blast with that. His whole feud with Orange Cassidy, I had a blast with, like, the Mimosa Monday match or something like that. Like, I love stuff like that. There's still a lot of value. I just think that sometimes, I don't know.
This is
speaking ill of a legend, but just, it's over.
No, you're not speaking ill. I don't think so at all. My 2 cents on Jericho is, he got so much credit in WWE for every so often he'd disappear and come back and reinvent himself. And like the things that he did when he was like the heel who talked really quietly with the 53 years old is what Ophelia says. Speaking of looking good in your 50s.
Hot damn.
So he got a lot of credit for reinventing himself. And like when he was the heel who talked very quietly, wore the suits and stuff, really, really cool. So I think the credit that he got for reinventing himself, I don't want to say went to his head, because I'm not in Jericho's head, But now he's every like 4 months, he's trying to roll over into something new. And just, I think every idea, he's like, this is a great idea. And the bubbly thing worked, but not everything's going to work, you know?
And here's
Again, I
my
can't
thought.
explain myself. I wish I was smarter.
No, Boris, I think you explained that perfectly, because the one step that I'll take it further is Jericho, like you said, in WWE, he would reinvent himself after going away for a bit. And I really don't think there has been the desire or even want, whether that's Tony's end or his end or whomever's, there's never been a chance where he's gone away. And I do think that like there is value in people taking a step back and having that moment to let people let you miss you. Yeah.
Ophelia saying the same way. And something that Jim Cornette says, and I've been watching a lot of Jim Cornette. I'm not going to sit here and say Jim Cornette's a good person or has good views, but I find a lot of his views interesting, and I like to watch him get mad at things or listen to him get mad at things and whatever.
Yeah, fair enough.
But he says, how can I miss you if you won't go away? And that's a pretty smart way to put it.
Yep. I don't disagree. I think that's a very good way to put it, to be honest, is like, you know, I don't think
it's a commercial break.
Hey, did you put up the actual reel of it?
Oh, is that the one you made? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a minute.
You made that. Oh, it's a minute. Oh, a minute too. I could do it 4 times in a minute too.
I don't know.
All right, at the end of the show,
I literally, Boris, I just hit export on all of the video files. So we'll see how long it goes. Well, you know what? We'll try it after the Ring of Honor, like this match's commercial break, and then we'll do like a full run through. You guys are gonna watch how the fucking pie is baked through this show.
How the pie is baked? Isn't it how the sausage is made?
Yeah. But like
how
I'm a pie.
You know what's really funny? In the wrestling vernacular, you said pie and I said sausage. It says a lot, doesn't it? In the wrestling vernacular. Mark Briscoe is now a bloody mess. I hate picture-in-picture because like you're gonna show me a pizza and then like a pizza commercial this big and a wrestling match this big.
I was going to say,
looking at the pizza.
Hey, as long as Jericho didn't use a pizza cutter before his second pizza commercial break, we're fine.
How great was that? Just the best.
Honestly, I 100% understand corporate values. That being said, if I was at Domino's and I got that level of just earned media based on this little silliness on a Wednesday night wrestling program, I would have been psyched. That's exactly. Now, I understand why they wouldn't. Don't get me wrong.
Of course.
But like
you work in promotion, so you understand. But at the same time, even your social media, have a little fun with your because there's some I think it's Wendy's or somebody that likes to have a little fun with their social media.
Wendy's does a lot with pro wrestling. You know what? And it's again just like the testament to how hot wrestling is right now. A lot of brands will make like a pro wrestling reference every once in a while. They really will.
Oh,
I like that.
Jericho setting up the ladder. Mark Briscoe bleeding profusely as we come back from commercial. I'd like to call TV wrestling I'd like to do a TV show like this where there's hard outs and there's commercials and there's lower thirds. You got to because I've had very free reign my whole career, and I hate the term career, but like to just kind of do what I want. And I'd like to try to do it within the restraints of TV just to see if I could.
Yeah. Because even like, sorry, I'm watching Jericho get punched in the back. I think I'm about 10 seconds behind you now that I think about it.
Yeah.
But I was actually listening, and a huge shout out to Deonna Purrazzo for a lot of reasons, but most importantly for this context, her interview today with Chris Van Vliet, because she was talking about that and the differences in like wrestling a 28-minute match with Trinity, now Naomi. Like that was one of her last matches with TNA, and they got 28 minutes, no commercials on a pay-per-view. And then I believe her first match, and I might be, I'm obviously paraphrasing, but she said then basically the quote was, well, I'm going from 28 minutes. What do I do with 9 minutes with commercials?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's an entirely different animal, even for Love Pro, again, how the pie is baked. Like we try and keep our shows to 3 hours. Because if we want to be like a streaming product, and huge shout out to IWTV, but they've been very kind with their time restraints for us, but we want to make sure we're respectful of them too. So,
do they give
we've
you
got
any
sort of
kind
that
of time restraints? I wasn't aware of that.
no time restraints on their end of things, but
Okay.
they're very consistent. Frick, I've got the push notification going on. I've probably gotten 3 while we're sitting watching tonight for the other shows they've got going on, right? So I always just want to make sure that we're cognizant of like having that even slightly loose time limit. But having to do that even with commercials, and like the way our shows are structured, they're pretty tightly compressed in the best of ways. It'd be a whole different animal if we had to plan with, hey, Boris, take 2 minutes here. We're on commercial. It's fascinating to me.
Now, you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, because this is more of a personal question that I would ask you off the air. But IWTV, is it, I don't want to use the word lucrative for us, but is there a few bucks coming in? And if you don't want to talk about that, that's fine. And that's none of my business. It's just something that I'm curious about. And if you want to take a pass, that's totally fine.
It has been very advantageous for us to make the move from Twitch to IWTV. One of the biggest things that I was concerned about.
This is our AEW watch-along, by the way.
Welcome. You and I have talked about this a lot, and that like one of my biggest things, and one of I think I speak for, frankly, all of us, not just the staff with Love Pro, but like all of us with LPW, is that accessibility, was huge for us. In getting Albertan pro wrestling, Canadian pro wrestling out there to as many people as we could.
Sorry, I'm reacting to bumps here.
Oh, feel free.
Continue.
I'll do the same. There we go. I was just gonna say I'll do the same in about 5 seconds. Yeah. But accessibility was huge. That was the biggest reason that we wanted to get on Twitch early and make sure our product was out there early, and to prove ourselves a little bit, because it's very hard as a new business to say, hey, can we come on your product and stream to millions and millions of people worldwide on the last Friday of every month, which is prime real estate for you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so we had to prove ourselves a little bit, but moving to IWTV has been, I think a really great decision, both on the, like, thankfully financials wise, but most importantly to me, just business wise, and getting great people out there in ways that, lots of love to a lot of promotions, but I don't think would or are getting out there in the ways that I think they deserve to be.
That is something, and there's something that it took me a long time to come around to, and I have to pump the tires of MRB, because I was in a very, very old. I was in a very, very
pump
old,
his tires. No, never.
He's not even that good.
Yeah,
remind me to tell you a story off the air.
Look, man, I might be somewhat frustrated is a light way to put it. I might be frustrated with the sort of way him and Clandestine have handled things over the last little bit, but it's. I think you and I both know we're lying to each other if we don't say that he's the best wrestler or one of the best wrestlers in Canada. But I'll give respect where it's due. I'll also call him for his shit where he's due. I don't like what he's done, but
yeah.
Sorry to pontificate.
The last 2 or 3 years of PWA, I was filming entire shows and I was putting them up on this company called Pivot Share, where you could sell videos. So like I was doing the DVDs, but then I found out about Pivot Share and that we could sell the shows online. And MRB was like, that's cool, but like put out a full match or 2 on YouTube. And I was like dead set against that. This is our product and we need to sell the product. And I was in a very, very old mindset of not wanting to give things away for free. And I just didn't understand. I was like, no. And part of it was I was doing a whole F ton of work on this and I wanted to make a little bit of money. And believe me, I did not get rich or anything, but I made a little bit of money. But Mark Briscoe on the top of the ladder.
Oh, God.
Big elbow. But yeah, I was very dead set against giving anything away for free. And I was in a very old mindset, whereas MRB was understanding kind of where the business was going. And now like all of our, our stuff goes on IWTV, but everything gets edited for YouTube. And now I kind of understand how that works. Whereas he was ahead of the curve back in like 2018, whereas I was behind it. And I'll be the first to admit I was behind it.
Hey, for what it's worth, I still have PWA DVDs. So don't discount those either. But
Those are collector's items now. You bring them to the show and I'll sign them for you.
I was just going to say that might actually be Boris. Like,
there was so much work to make those. We're past 15 minutes, obviously. It was so much work for me to make those fucking DVDs because I did it all myself.
Yep. Dude, I get it.
Here comes Big Bill.
Yeah. That was the
with the gray sweatpants.
Good on him. You know what?
They're not going to put the fucking. Oh, they're not going to put the fucking title on Jericho. I'm glad I didn't make that bet.
They are. Yeah, they are.
Sean Monahan's what you want tomorrow, right? That's what we talked about.
Yes, please.
All right.
Thank you, and sorry.
But no, the shitty thing though is that it's a Boris-sized jersey, so it's going to swim on you, and I'm going to feel bad about myself. But you're calling the show with me tomorrow, are you not? Because you said that you.
Yes, I am. We've got a special guest ring announcer. Who? Thank you for reminding me. I have to send a quick message to here in about 55 minutes. But yeah, so I think the plan right now is I'm going to do the 2 imitation game matches because
those are going to be so fun.
I want to be the Fink, and
I'm glad I didn't make that bet.
Yep.
See, I don't like this, but again, it's just I'm an ROH purist and all that kind of stuff.
I hate it so much. I'm not an ROH purist, and I think this is awful. I hate
these
all of it.
These guys are on cable wrestling television, and I'm sitting here talking to your ass. So,
I say this again with the full asterisk of I don't know what goes into planning matches like this or anything like that. This match or this feud should have ended after Jericho invoked Jay's memory. Because, man, for me...
Oh, here comes Tomohiro Ishii! You'll get there in 10 seconds.
Here I am. Here's Tomohiro Ishii.
They should make a missing poster for his neck. That's a funny joke. That's good shit right there. I love me some Rocky Romero, too.
For me, I hate the fact. So this feud started outside of this, but one of the major turning points or one of the major escalations in this feud was Jericho invoking the name of Mark Briscoe's dead brother.
Fair.
And Mark Briscoe went over, rightfully so. And that for me is the end of the feud. Could you imagine if Rey Mysterio wins the Royal Rumble, wins the championship, based on Randy Orton shitting on Eddie Guerrero, and then Randy Orton beating Ray the next month again? Like, I don't know.
It's like the Triple H Booker T thing back in then.
Yeah, I hate it all. It's like if you're going to cause heat on that level, which for me is, it's a line that you can walk. I don't want to say that it's like 100% a no-go, as weird as that sounds to say.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you totally.
But like you have to treat it respectfully. And that's why, like, for me, that feud, when Jericho invokes the memory of someone who is close to, obviously, not only AEW's heart, but like Mark's heart, rightfully so, as his fucking brother. And then Mark beats him. You give the big babyface win. You get the feud closed. And then it's, screw all of that. Jericho wins the ROH title.
And I also think that
come on.
I mean, that ROH title.
I hate this more now. I hate it more.
The ROH title doesn't really have the cachet that it used to, obviously, but that should be like a title that you can use to bolster up some new talent. In fairness, though, they could turn around and do that with Jericho. Hopefully, when he loses it, he puts over somebody,
If you want the honest answer, I would 100% bet that this is entirely to try and get ROH its own TV deal. The same way that Jericho being the first AEW champion and being involved with AEW right off the bat was a reason they got a TV deal.
Because they could do there was rumors of ROH on Tubi. I don't know who owns that.
And ROH thing. And Ring of Honor wasn't included in their recent TV.
Oh, they're not part of the
Warner Brother, like they can shop that. They can shop that entirely separately.
How did the internet wrestling fans turn on, or how bad did they turn on Adam Cole? Remember when Adam Cole was in
fucking
NXT?
Stupid bunch of us we tend to be sometimes.
Remember when Adam Cole was at NXT and he was the darling of the world, and now he's just a skinny loser? Like, what's wrong with you guys?
Just why?
I'm just jealous of the hair.
I understand where there would be frustrations with like the way the storyline went. Like it is a lot of revisionist history, and we got to be blunt with it, on him coming back as this huge baby face and Max is the big heel. And after everything that happened with that whole Devil storyline, which I know got sewered by his injury, don't get me wrong, but like it is a lot of revisionist history.
What's up, Jason Kiesler?
Jason,
good to see you again. I appreciate you checking out all my streams and listening to my nonsense. Thank you, Spencer. This has been a lot of fun. I was going to ask you if you wanted to, I was going to ask you if you were going to hang out for the Halloween edition of SNL, but this is just as good. And we don't have Thaddeus Archer here mucking things up.
That might be, yeah, I could probably hop on and say hello at the very least. Because that's, I never, it's the same reason that I always tell people, like, don't plan on me being there for the brunch gimmick after, or on the weekend after a show. Consider it like maybe not found money because I don't draw. But
me neither.
Yeah, so you can consider it found if I show up there on Sunday mornings.
Another thing that I wanted to ask you: how fast are your editing skills? If I wanted an imitation game match from Friday night to play on Saturday night, is that a possibility, or am I barking up
from Thursday to play on Saturday? From Thursday night to play on Saturday?
Thursday to play on Saturday. And believe me, I know what a bitch it is to edit stuff. You're preaching to the choir here.
No, I will say done with the asterisk of pending like exporting, because I can edit it that quickly. Usually, I have clandestine done by the time that I get to the show on Friday. So I would say a tentative yes.
And that's why
just with the way I edit, I would tentatively plan for the first match, not the championship match.
I want an imitation game. Oh yeah, I guess that is an imitation game. The champion match.
But I edit the shows like as a full show front to back. So
a lot of people shit on Matt Taven when he won the ROH title at the Madison Square Garden show, but I was happy for him. I thought that was cool.
Matt Taven
I got no problem with Matt Taven.
I always hate the phrase underrated because we're working in a subjective sport.
Fair.
Matt Taven is a guy that I am happy to use the phrase underrated about. I think the dude rules. Him and Mike Bennett, same thing goes. Like,
I'm so happy that Mike Bennett was able to get his shit cleaned up, because I think he's super, super talented. Plus, a zillion years ago when we had him in PWA, he was really cool. Can I give a non-sponsored shout out to the delicious folks?
Wait, hold on. Do we have the brand here?
I don't have any of that stuff because I live in my own universe. But Pabst Blue Ribbon makes a delicious quality beverage, much like Alley Cat's Brainbuster Brew.
What we're going to need to do, and this is me note-taking, we'll create a generic brand where we've got all of these uploaded and all of the overlays, underlays. That might be a good idea. But yeah, I don't.
And I can also speak as a staunchly heterosexual man that Adam Cole is a good-looking guy. Adam Cole's a handsome dude.
Man,
and I have no problem
both ways in this day and age.
I have no problem saying that a dude is good looking. Like, he's a handsome dude. Those eyes look into my soul.
I'll be honest. If you can't call a dude good looking, I
think MJF is very one-dimensional.
Adam Cole's hot. I haven't even seen him come out yet.
Oh, it's a pre-tape.
Oh, now I see him on he's getting a massage. He just lifted his head. That gives you reference for how far back.
Yeah, you're about 5 or 8 seconds behind. I'm going to send you a private chat, okay?
Oh, God. Yes, go for it. Neither of us.
You know what? I like you, man. I'm a fan. Solid work.
I'll tell you a funny story after. I
will say, like, the setup,
stream too.
Like, just that visual though, that looks like an MGF visual. Like, just that house looks snooty as fuck. Like, that's all well done.
I will say, man, like MJF. I don't disagree sometimes on what you're saying there, and like it sometimes seems like the low-hanging fruit. But like that dude knows his value. He knows when to show up, and he knows what makes money. And those are three major things in pro wrestling. Because how many times have we seen the pre-tape where he's supposed to get called out or something like that and gets a little video?
I'd love to know what deal he signed. Still to come, we have.
Here's actually it is 7:15 p.m., which means that my alarm featuring "Surfin' Bird" by the Trashmen,
not the Ramones.
I've done that a couple of times. That and so I have an idea, Boris, and I'm going to tell this online. No, I'm going to tell this online. I'm going to tell this online story only once. No, that's just like I've got a bunch of random alarms for like meal prep and shit like that I just I set for every day so that I don't forget to set them. If that makes sense.
You do you, man.
But you brought up Surfin' Bird because like Surfin' Bird's got a million different versions. This is the only time I'm ever going to say this publicly because I've said this privately a lot. But I have the idea for the Let the Bodies Hit the Floor Battle Royal. And it's a double entendre in the sense that the bodies are going to hit the floor. That's how you get eliminated. But also, everybody enters to a different stylization of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor. I have about 25 different versions of that song on my desktop. Oh, I shit you not. And there's like country versions. There's like slow Bauhaus.
Why is this not happening tomorrow?
Because this is something. Yeah, just tell me what version of Let the Bodies Hit the Floor you want. There's going to be a lottery.
That's amazing. Oh, like with the hopper and all that? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But there's going to be like, this is a full gimmick that I want to do.
That's fantastic.
The Let the Bodies Hit the Floor Battle Royal. And it wouldn't really be, there'd be no stakes. Everybody would leave and they would get their proverbial win or I don't know. That's what we'll call it, the proverbial win. No titles on the line. Just have your arm raised as the proverbial winner.
Speaking of proverbs, there's an old proverb that you can't help a man who can't help himself. And if you don't want to go to this show, I can't help you. Because it's going to be the greatest show. Well, okay, I'm selling a Donald Trump now, so let's back it up.
It's the greatest show. It is going to be one hell of a show.
There has been.
It's going to bring in hundreds of thousands of people. You're going to love it. Sorry.
That's pretty good, actually. You know what?
You know what?
Have you been working on that?
No. I will also say, like, this brand is firmly fuck that guy. We don't often take a political stance, but when we do, fucking, we're going to stand hard there.
10,000.
Yep. Bingo, bango. Yeah, dude, I am so excited for the next 2 days. And I always get more excited. I think I even gave you this analogy the last time we hopped on a stream together. Like, when I was younger, and I don't know if it was the same for you, but like
yesterday.
Maybe. It's the beard. But like when you bought a concert ticket, that was the only thing you looked forward to for months. It was your only focus. You were super excited the whole time. The older I've gotten, I found that I peak and valley a little bit more. So like, I know we've got a show coming up. So when we're in the prep mode, I'm maybe a little lower on the excitement levels, but I am that much more excited the closer we get to stuff. And especially, dude, like when I start getting messages from people that are saying, hey, I'm heading to the airport. Hey, I'm on my way. Hey, excited to work with you. Hey, here's my music, all that sort of stuff. Like, dude, I'm always so excited. And especially, man, like, you know, I don't even think this is a hot fucking take. I think this is the goddamn right take. Like, Mars the Specialist and Blake Christian are going to put on a match like no one in Canada's seen in a long goddamn time. That's going to tear it up. Ride or Die and Goose and Cruz, they're going to tear it up. I've been so happy to have Goose and Riley more involved with Love.
I like that
the last
Riley
couple of
Cruz
years
kid a lot.
And like, man, it's so hard to argue against Ride or Die. Like literally, they're our longest reigning champs. But you look at the two opponents they've got this month, and for all the right reasons, they're a lot different than any opponent that TFA and Steven have faced off against. Right? Like MRB and Elliott, we talked about right off the bat. Elliott's whole new leveled this year. I'm always psyched but like we're hitting the closing stretch of the year, dude. And you know we do things bigger and better than fucking anybody. Oh, yeah. And we're going to this well, I guess tomorrow and Friday. I was gonna say this Thursday and Friday. Two fucking tomorrow and Friday. Wrestling will be happening 24 hours from now in Edmonton.
That's true.
I guess 24 hours and 11 minutes.
And I was 10 minutes. I'm super
well, you're 5 to 8 seconds ahead of me.
That's true. I'm living in the future. It's great here. Let me tell you how much has changed. I was so excited to go and hang out with you at Bad Religion and just rock out, and I'm really bummed that didn't happen. That's another story for another day, but I don't know why that tour was canceled, but hopefully we'll get another shot at that.
We've just got to find, I think, you know what? Here's the commitment we'll make, is that before the end of the year, you and I have to find, even if it's just like a little...
something at the Starlight Room or whatever, yeah.
I was going to say this is the same way that I put it as complimentary when I talk about Quizplex as our silly little quiz show. We need to find a silly little punk show and just go before the end of the year.
The Menzingers are coming to Union Hall in November. Or maybe
I admittedly am only slightly familiar.
I'm not overly either, but I've been told if you like the Wonder Years, which I do, you would like Menzingers as well.
You're going to Sloan, right?
I haven't got my ticket yet because I am financially compromised right now, but I hope it doesn't sell out. I'm bummed about that too, and I'm going to be like a musical douche right now. Everybody knows that I love like my favorite band forever and ever and ever.
They're your band.
They are my band, but I never wanted to see them. And this is going to sound really douchey of me, and I'll be the first one to admit that I'm judging and being douchey here, but I never wanted Sloan to become a casino band. You know, like April Wine and Harlequin and like all, but they're playing
Honeymoon Suite.
Exactly. Yeah. And I never wanted that for Sloan because like it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like sad. And this is such a douchey take, and I'll admit that I'm putting like musical doucheness on myself. But I never wanted them to become a casino band.
I grew up as a Kiss fan. I've grown up with like some of the douchiest
Kiss,
people as my idols. Oh no, I love them too. And I was rocking the fuck out.
Analogy?
But I have become used. Did you see literally 2 days ago Gene Simmons talking about how he never rated Flea as a bass player? Like, I'm used to douchey takes. And
my Kiss
yours
analogy
is not douchey.
My Kiss analogy is Kiss is the musical version of a peanut butter cup. There is no nutritional value whatsoever, but it's fucking tasty. And that's how I explain Kiss, because I love me some Kiss. But I'm not going to get
out of the park.
Like I'm not going to.
You'll actually. No, you'll.
I'm not
expecting
from Kiss what I get from like a band like Tool. But it's gonna be a rock and roll party tonight. And every time you say how you doing, people, I'm like, I know what you're doing.
That is where I stole it from.
I know what you're doing.
Oh my god, I love you so much. I am going to send this clip to Alicia. Oh my god, because
I know what you're doing.
I was texting her about this the other day.
I'm not dumb.
If you watch back LPW 2, that is how myself and Alicia Toot introduced the first ever, I mean, this is no shade whatsoever. But like LPW Force Pro Wrestling changed the game. That was very much like a pilot episode. And it was a combined show with a great promotion. LPW 2 don't want to grow up. Well, at LPW...
I'm totally kidding.
But you're not wrong. LPW 2 don't want to grow up hanging on the... Have I ever shown you this? I've got all of our first year's posters hanging in my house. Yeah,
I've been there.
So don't want to grow up. That was very much like the start of Love Pro Wrestling. So
I got a few down
since the start of Love Pro Wrestling as a soul brand, I've introduced every show with "How you doing, people?"
Oh, and I know, and I get it,
and that is full credit. There's so many reasons I love you, Boris. But like, yeah, I am going to send this to Alicia right after the show because Paul Stanley and her and I, like, she's one of my best friends on the planet.
Is she signed anywhere right now?
AEW.
Is she really? What is she doing anything, or am I missing?
Doing a lot of the backstage. A lot of it's been on Collision.
Oh, okay. I don't see Collision.
Yeah,
okay, fair enough. Okay.
Hey, we're fair enough.
Oh, good for her then. That's rad.
Yeah, man. And she was the reason that I started doing the "How you doing, people." Obviously, we both stole it from Paul Stanley, but there you go. There's the fun little insight there.
King of stage,
dude, the fucking best backstage interviewer in person you'll find in pro wrestling.
If your Halloween costume doesn't come together, you should paint up as Paul Stanley on Friday.
Oh my God.
Get you a
You
black
were going to
wig?
pop. I'm going to message you privately right now, and you're going to be the first person who finds this out. This is the costume Zach and I have for Quizplex on Thursday next week.
Oh,
In the
yeah?
private. Yeah.
Oh,
Because I gotta keep track of the numbers.
excellent. I never got the call for old Quizplex. I'm not upset about it or anything. Don't worry.
I still would love the idea of having you and Thad and Warren and Veda, obviously, like the 4 commentators on
I have thrown all
on
of
an
my
edition of
support
Quizplex.
towards Veda.
Oh, Tuesday. Thank you.
See, she knows better. Is she on the payroll? She's smarter than all of us.
I've got 2 shows this weekend. And I forgot about the date change because it's only been 2 months since we moved over to the last Tuesday of the month versus the second last Thursday of every month. That's going to rule so hard.
Yeah, I got to call
Sheldon.
4 matches tomorrow and then a whole bunch on Friday. Like I can remember these things for a show that I'm not even on. But I will watch. And last month, I was answering all the questions in the chat, and I felt like I was smart. Oh, wait. We got Adam Cole in the back, walking away, much like Spencer's walked away.
I'm here.
There is a blue light shining on Adam Cole. He's talking to the group of.
Is it the Wyatt 6?
No, who the fuck? What are they called again? I forget. God damn.
The House of Black.
That's it. Well, they need to go to commercial because I have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, but this match
is
going to
Ophelia, it's the House of Black. Yes, you're the smart one. I'm the dumb one. Positive potato.
Oh, man. That's going to goddamn rule. Adam Cole and Buddy Matthews? Fuck yeah, sign me up yesterday, brother. No, like actually sign me up for that shit yesterday. That's going to rule.
All right. Here comes Brickhouse Camille. I need to go to the little boys' room, so I'm giving you my load again.
That's fine. Brother, I've been alone. I've been alone before. I'll be alone for a long time. No, I'm kidding. That's just a fun little joke. I'm really excited for this. It's the weirdest way I can put it, but I think Camille's both in the perfect role right now in where she is sort of like Mercedes heavy and getting these occasional single spots, but like, man, do I want more. And it's one of those great situations where like Mercedes could turn on Camille. Camille could turn on Mercedes at any point, whether that's tomorrow, Tuesday, or 20 years from now, and it'll fucking rule, and you can turn either of them either way. Like, Camille's been a great babyface. I really just think that you can hit this one out of the park. Queen Aminata rules. Huge fan. And again, I hate the phrase underrated because I feel like, hey, Boris. That's fair. I hate the phrase underrated because like I almost feel like it's disrespectful in some ways. But like Queen Aminata is one of those people who like, man, I wish more people saw her. That's the best way that I can put it without using the word underrated, you know?
I was thinking about something.
Anytime she gets an opportunity, she nails it. Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there.
No. I was thinking about something the other day, too, is those LPW year-end awards are going to be coming up soon. And that match of the year, like, what are you narrowing it down to? Like 50? Like, I don't envy you having to narrow down. Like, I know what is in my mind what match of the year is, but when you give me the choices, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, I forgot about that, and I forgot about that. Yeah. I know what I have up here, but...
My goal every year is to try and split them out, because if anybody wants like to shoot into the like categories and that sort of stuff, I'll usually determine what is a contender. There are certainly some that like are indisputably on there regardless of when they happen in the year or who's involved or anything like that. Usually I try and split it as much as I can to have one match per show or one match per person.
Okay.
Now, if somebody's
That's
gone out
hard
of their
too,
way
one
and
match
delivered,
per show.
dude, it's incredibly tough. But like, I've always been to the belief, you know, I hate I hate the phrase participation trophies. It makes me sound like a boomer douchebag, but like I want the awards to mean something. I want people, like, if they get recognized as wrestler of the year or match of the year, I don't want it to just be like, oh, here's our throwaway little award. Because again, full shoot, every award completely fan voted. There has been nothing that has been done as like a storyline. There has been nothing that has been done to build someone, anything like that. Everything has been 100% fan voted. So I do want these awards to mean something in some way because A, I know the level of dedication that our fans have, and B, how many people vote. Like, we had over 500 fucking votes last year. It's not like this is a drop in the bucket, right?
Do you want to know my early pick for what I think match of
I'd
the
love
year is?
to. I would really love to. Actually.
My early pick, which may change once I like get refreshed on the entire year, which is a lot. The draw between Reed Matthews and Casey Ferreira is currently my LPW match of the year.
I can fucking promise you, dude, that one is going to be on the list at the end of the year. But here's even the thing too. I've been going through and watching some matches on YouTube, and I always try and watch the matches that, like, it's again the worst way that I can put it, but the matches that I think are underrated, or if you go through our YouTube channel, the matches that, like, I think should have hundreds of thousands of views rather than thousands.
Yeah.
And like, man, January kicked off with Zoe and Vert Vixen and MRB and Vaughn Vertigo. Like,
oh, I forgot.
Right, that's exactly it. It's the same sort of way I talked earlier about, like, hey man, I forget so many matches on my year-end awards or my year-end matches of
your
the
match
year
of the year list.
Yeah, like it's wild. You know, you go back to last year. You know, I know that they don't apply to this year's awards, but like, do you know how many votes the Rads versus State of Emergency and Michael Allen and Richard Clark got from LPW 12? Like, we've had so many. Right, but that's exactly, we've had so many wild matches, so that part always gets tough. But that's sort of the way that I determine down, and then once they're sent out, it's 100% fan voted.
Yeah,
because I'm excited to go back and like make that list too. To be honest,
can you put me in put me in the referee of the year category? Just
honestly, I think
I've never been nominated for anything. God damn it!
No, hey,
because I'm in a class by myself.
Well, you're not wrong. Because like, again, it's the best way and worst way I can put it. But like, all of our awards, so wrestler of the year, there is a minimum requirement of like, you had 2 matches with Love Pro Wrestling this year, right?
Okay, well,
so usually
that one.
Well, and no, but usually it's like you need 2 things of commentary. So it's Boris. So like, that's so we
I gotta start photoshopping my poster for I'm just gonna take Stuart Garvey's old poster and just put my head on his shoulders.
I might do like because I don't know if personality, it's 7:30.
I don't have any of that.
No, but like personality, you've ring announced for us. So I might do like
that was fun. That was terrible, but that was a really fun day.
Because like, then we can include you and Ben and Garvey and Curtis Barnum, who's been up here once this year, but fucking kills it every time he is here, right? Like, there are a lot of people who deserve recognition. So I'll probably still like have those split categories of like referee and that sort of stuff. But I do like the idea of having something where we can recognize people who are like the not a wrestler wrestling staff.
What was funny about that too, like when I ring announced, is I was sitting in the back and like you were doing all the shit. So when I like busted your balls about how you said everything, like that was like partially like a fun shoot, because I'm like, bro, you didn't leave me anything to do. That was a fun day though. I had a lot of fun.
We had zero planning, and that's why I sort of
that's why we're so good at what we do.
Rue, down please. Thank you. You can hang out, get pets. You just can't jump up. Thanks. A limited space here.
That Queen Amanato's got a really good look too. Like, I know
she's great.
Like it's. You have to be careful when you say that about a female wrestler, because it doesn't want to be taken in the wrong context. But just like,
no, I agree. But like, it's
presence there and a look. You know what I mean?
Wrestling has, and I think thankfully, like the idea of the look has evolved a ton. I fucking, to sort of tangent again on my end of things a little bit. I got so frustrated there last week when people were talking about, well, Motor City Machine Guns look like midgets. Like, you fucking idiots. They look like pro wrestlers. And you know how they look like pro wrestlers? They go out there and they professionally wrestle excellently. Like, there is a good look to things. I just like the fact that that look is expanded.
And the thing that I don't get too is, like, UFC have like the weight classes and they have like a featherweights and all that. And it's perfectly fine for like a small guy to go in UFC, and those guys have great fights. But why is it okay to be a small guy in shoot fighting or a small guy in boxing, but it's not okay to be a small guy in pro wrestling?
Man, all of it. I just don't. I certainly, and Boris, everyone in the chat, look at me. This is not a statement coming from a strong man on the external end or internal, but my therapist can tell you that. I think a lot of people who say that, like, oh, this would never work in a real fight, or how could this happen in a real fight, or anything like that, is just looking to have a bad faith take with pro wrestling.
Yeah, I agree.
Number one. But B, also has no idea how a fucking fight works.
And also, Bruce Willis didn't surf on a fucking fighter jet in real life, so shut up. Now we're just getting mad at wrestling fans. And that's
you want to bet on a man fucking an alligator? Money plane. Like, come on.
I don't get that reference, but okay.
You didn't? Oh, so it was actually, you know what? I'm going to change our branding here for a second because I think I've got it pulled up here.
Hey, when are we going to do another run-in? Because you always do them when I'm not around, and I have answers for all of your questions. I love answering dumb questions.
So one of my favorite movies and an answer to a Quizplex question last month was, what is a movie that both Edge and Kelsey Grammer starred in? And it was Money Plane, which was literally, here's the clip.
Do you want to bet on a dude fucking an alligator? Money Plane. Do you want to bet?
It is a movie about
monetization, just for the record.
That's fine. I pressed the button. Here's
so what you're saying is I need to watch Money Plane.
You need to watch Money Plane almost immediately.
What about Soul Plane? Do I need to watch Soul Plane too?
Honestly, probably, yeah. Here's actually a funny story for you. Is Soul Plane, I think... I'm going to tie 3 movies together here because my memory's fuzzy. So I either bought a ticket for Soul Plane to go and see Beer Fest, or I bought a ticket for Snakes on a Plane to go and see Beer Fest because one of them was in theaters at the same time and I was under 18.
That's a good story.
So actually it was Snakes on a Plane, excuse me, because we ended up buying the ticket for Snakes on a Plane, going to Beer Fest, and getting kicked out like 4 minutes in. So we had to go and see Snakes on a Plane. And the scene that we walked into Snakes on a Plane for was the scene where a man was using the lavatory and a snake came through the toilet and did a big old bite on an area in which a lot of us, including Boris currently, would probably be uncomfortable to be bit. And that
when did Chris Statlander become a babyface, by the way? Because I feel like it just happened out of nowhere. But maybe I'm not up on my AEW.
This was no, you're not wrong, Boris. This was a big IWC conversation point about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because a lot of people agree, and I don't disagree. I think that this is the right role for Statlander, but how they got there is very odd. That's why, like, you see,
she had a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Continue. It'll come to my brain. A lot of momentum ruined by injury is what I'm trying to say.
True. But so she came back, and chat, correct me if I'm wrong here, because I got to just be quite blunt. Usually, our hockey team plays on Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. So I'm much more consistent with my viewership elsewhere than I am on All Elite, purely by circumstance.
Bobby Lashley should get out of this SUV.
And Stone Cold everyone like he did with the Alliance. Damn it, Boris!
What? Oh, those
I'm 10
spoilers?
seconds behind
Oh.
you. I would have loved it. Stone Cold goes full rejoining the WWF and hits 40 people with stunners. That's what I want. So yeah, the whole turn was very quickly done and very unexplained. They did a vignette with
Fair
Stat on Collision. And they sort of tried to explain it, but I don't know. I'm glad they at least tried to explain it with a vignette.
Oh,
I
they
think
did?
that this
Okay.
is one of the. Yep. I think this is. Yeah. I'll send you a link if you ever need. But they did it on Collision, and it was a well done vignette, and I understand the logic, but it was very much like, hey, I am very much in the midst of my heel turn still. Erasure.
I'm happy
They
for
gave-
Nick Wayne, that friggin' kid. Look at him go.
Nick Wayne rules. Nick Wayne rules.
And because she's probably remotely close to my age, I'm like, Nick Wayne's mom's kind of hot.
Former AEW Tag Team Champion.
Oh, Hook is ready to confirm. Was it the Wayne family that attacked Taz? Oh, that's true. Who's the third man? Here comes Hook. I never got the Hook thing when he first came in, but again, it's just me.
See, I'm going to differ in that, I immediately got Hook and then sort of not soured, but I think he got cooled off a lot with FTW title.
Yeah.
I would be curious, but I'll be quite honest with you. Between Hook and Nick Wayne, I bet you have a combined age of 39.
Yeah, probably. Start singing. What am I singing? You tell me what to sing. I'll sing it. Am I singing a song to Nick Wayne's mom? Oh, Nick Wayne's mom.
Yeah. She's got it going on.
Nick Wayne's mom got it going on. I got to write lyrics now.
I know that Bowling for Soup was here last week.
Yes, they were.
The song 1985 came out in 2003. And you know what sucks to hear, Boris?
Tell me.
The difference between the years 2003 and 1985 is less than the difference between 2003 and 2024.
Yeah, we're all getting older. Some of us are getting better. There you go. There you go, Hook. Yeah, Christian's doing some of the best work of his whole career this past couple of years, too.
I really loved that spot purely for the fact, and this is going to sound very specific. I love the fact that it looked like Hook was trying to fight out of the Unprettier.
Did I mention that this light has 3 settings, by the way? This is off. That's one. That's,
No, sorry. You gave me the first one, but I didn't get a detailed walkthrough.
So this is one. This is setting 1. Okay, that's setting 2, which makes me look extra white and fat. This is setting 3, which makes me look even whiter and fatter. And then that's off.
So you're a setting 1 guy. I am in my living room with no extra light or anything. I've got my Charmander AirPods case. That's about it. And
that's an Apple, right? Apple
and my gay wrestling, hell yeah. And that's about it.
That's an Apple
I'm also
laptop?
wearing a sweater that I got from Zach. Yes, it is.
Are you an Apple guy? I've never used Apple other than iPhones.
I owned the original iPod, and since then I have been strictly Apple because I am too dumb to learn a new phone or
See, that's how I am with
I think it's great. I think it's great. It's great for media. It is sometimes a little tough as far as transferability because I still feel like despite Apple having more money than the US government at points in our life, the world is still like Microsoft based. Like you won't find anybody who has like Pages as their default app. You'll find a lot of people with Microsoft Word still, you know?
I don't know what Pages even is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a lot of like, I think Apple's better for media. I think Windows is still better for like transferability. Unless one of you fuckers sponsors us, then I'll put you over, brother. But until then, let's go with fucking, I don't know.
Saturday nights, 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, midnight Eastern Time. It is the special Saturday Night Love Halloween episode featuring Thaddeus Archer III. We have a game. Apparently, it's a mask and paint game made by Dustin that we are going to play once I figure out how to do it. We might dig through some old footage of something, whatever. I'm going to send out the link to everyone and their dog. Who knows who's going to show up? But it's 10 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, midnight Eastern Time. We're going to celebrate. I might dress up as a cheerleader. I shouldn't say that because I'm not going to actually do it. Maybe I'll wear an Oiler jersey and dress up like an asshole. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's what's up.
Everybody and their dogs invited, including this one. Hi. Rue, look in the camera. What's this?
There's never drama on Saturday Night Love. It's all love and celebration, and nothing bad ever happens. I think. See, like Spencer, you said that you listen to the show while you go to sleep. So, like the last half hour is usually where the wheels really fall off. So you're in bed by then. So you're asleep by then. That's when the THC kicks in and the whole thing goes off the rails.
No, that's fine. The reason I'm in bed by that, and well, if I'm speaking my truth, the reason that I'm usually not awake for the full time is my THC kicks in at the start of the show. So,
well, if you do yours earlier or I do mine later, no, wait, if you whatever, fuck. Let's just get to the goddamn main event.
I am hi Rep. No, please stay down. There is limited space here. Yep, thank you.
I got to make sure to put my Tommy and the Potato, which sounds like an Eagles song. Tommy and the Potato. I got to make sure to put Tommy and the Potato.
Tommy and the Potato sounds more like a Bob Dylan song than an Eagles song.
Hey, Tommy
and the Potato. Everybody slow down. We're going to get copyright strike. Tommy and the Potato.
Tommy peeled the potatoes to make $1. Working at the diner in Nebraska.
Take me to town, and he said, hell no.
Please don't clip that and play that ever anywhere.
He said, boy, what's your favorite kind of toy? He said, yo-yo.
Rockin' Sockin' Robots.
He said, boy, what's your favorite video game? He said, Halo.
Everybody like Miss Pac-Man. I don't know what's happening right now. Oh, look at Tony flexing. Look at Tony.
The real man. Sorry, I was Dylaning.
I want Tony's flexing to be set to us singing Bob Dylan in the greatest video ever made in the history of the internet.
What? Tony Schiavone flexing.
Did you see Tony? That was amazing.
He's the whitest thing I've ever seen in my life. Rep, stop biting me, brother.
I should wear a shirt like what Daniel Garcia's got on Friday. I think I could pull it off.
Feel encouraged as long as it doesn't say AEW.
I could be the blue meanie for Halloween if I really didn't care about how people perceived me.
Long as no one goes as JBL.
Frickin' that guy.
That was a great joke.
It was.
That was a really great joke. I'm pretty satisfied with that.
You enjoyed that Brainbuster brew from our friends over at Alley Cat Brewery.
You know, Boris, I took a lot of pride in that.
Here come the EVPs, Matthew and Nicholas Jackson, which I will say is I like how the extra special guys get to enter through the middle. Like Okada enters through the middle and the Bucks enter through the middle. Like it's a subtle thing, but it's noticed.
I agree. I do not like this run one
No?
bit. No. Rep.
Because
Stop. I don't know, man. I feel it's very and there are times for heavy-handedness. This is like the most heavy-handed, silly stuff to me. And I think that all of the wrestlers that I see on my photo right now, whether it's the Young Bucks or Jack Perry, like they're talented as all hell, but this is not for me.
it's not overly subtle.
It ain't subtle, and like especially since everything that happened with the BCC, like what are they doing?
Were we
Like they're not
supposed to
even
hear from Moxley
they're not even the top. I thought Mox was supposed to kick the show off.
Did
They're
he?
not
And we
even
just
like
missed it?
the top. I gotta be honest, I was setting up at that point. I just think that like they're not even the top heel act in AEW anymore.
Do you think that we're actually going to
Yeah.
see Shane
Yeah.
McMahon?
Yes. And I don't know when.
Other
Dude,
folks
this
smarter
this
than
could
me,
be
and they agree.
this could be like a year from now. It doesn't need to be immediate, but if I'm talking ever, yeah. Like I think we're going to see at some point Kevin Owens in AEW. Nonetheless, this.
Because I was talking to somebody about this, and I was like, Shane McMahon showing up at AEW is pretty huge. And he's like, that's not even in the top 20 stories in wrestling history. And I don't know if I agree with that. Shane McMahon showing up at AEW is a pretty big deal.
Okay. Excuse me, I got to put my dog in his crate. Crate, please. No.
I do the same thing with my girlfriend at night. For the record, that is a joke. I do not put her in a crate. She sleeps in the garage. Also a joke. Well, I don't know how to do this by myself now. It's been like 2 hours of me doing it with a partner, and now I got to like talk about AEW. I do like the whole pearl necklace thing phrasing. I know. It's just this extra douchey. Oh, the wind just blew my door closed.
Sorry, Rip was getting extra, not play bitey.
Is it bedtime or walk time or food time?
It is like, I don't know if you've ever watched At the End of Brunch. He just like is the most attention hungry pup. So it was like, hey, you haven't paid direct attention to me.
Okay.
That's what it was. So we'll go
It's time
for
for you to love me.
Yeah. So we're going to go for a quick walk here tonight because we have Ring Crew tonight as we build up towards two major events, the Rec Room South Edmonton. I'm not sure if you've heard. But
everybody's still waiting in the parking lot for the BCC to show up. Got nunchucks. Where do you get nunchucks from? Like crowbars and pipes and stuff. I can get.
Jeff Jarrett! Jarrett's there. Fuck yeah! Oh, let's go. Jeff Jarrett laying the law down. Guys, I don't care. You know what? And Boris, I love you, but I'm going to take this pawn tip. I'm going to do this right now. I fucking love Jeff Jarrett. I fucking love Jeff Jarrett. And if you don't, I probably love you. But maybe a little less because Jeff Jarrett fucking rules.
Did you just remove me?
No, I put myself in the big screen like I'm going to do to you. Give me your hot take right now, Boris.
My hot take right now is that Johnny Cash's version of Hurt sucks.
Whoa, what?
You wanted a hot take? I gave it to you. And I mean
I
that
know what
shit too.
I know what I asked for, but wow.
Look, when you say give a hot take, I don't F around. And yes, Ophelia, I don't know, like, does a pre-tape promo in the desert count as like I don't know, if you advertise like Moxley being on the show, I don't know if that, like, if I'm a fan and that's what I get, I'm kind of let down by that, if that makes sense. Again, I can't explain myself properly.
Today.
What did I do?
You hurt me today to see if I still feel.
I don't know, man. Like, I've never been a big Johnny Cash guy to begin with, but like a couple of years before he died, he recorded 3 albums where he croaks his way through a bunch of cover songs.
I'll take Johnny Cash over
everybody
Zach Bryan fucking 17 out of 10 times.
And everybody thinks those albums are so brilliant, and I just like, I don't know. It's not for me. It's just my opinion. It's not right. It's just what I think.
I will defend to the death your right to have that opinion, but I also vehemently disagree with it.
And I
still love you regardless.
I'm
still
very
love you
much aware.
regardless.
I'm very much aware that I'm in the minority of that. But that song by Nine Inch Nails is very special to me. So it's just my opinion. It is what
Here's
it is.
my actual question for you, because I was having this conversation with someone today. Can you name a new celebrity? I saw a tweet yesterday and which sparked this conversation that basically showed like hey, here are the new influencers. I think it was from like Variety or something. And I went through the entire image and I thought, boy, I don't recognize any of these people.
Now, what do
The
we
only
consider
person
new?
that like the only person that I know who has put out anything since like 2020 is like Selena Gomez and then this Sabrina Carpenter fella.
Now, are we talking like influencers on like YouTube or like musicians and performers? Because those are two different things I've learned.
Nope, that's fair. And I am old enough to say, boy, I didn't consider any influencers.
Because I know that there's
I guess
like,
they'd be the same. I know a couple of influencers, I guess. There's Tony P. Huge shout out to Tony P. And then Davis Clark, I think is his name, who are two very... I'll just send you the links.
Am I a wrestling influencer? Am I influencing people right now? I don't think I'm influencing anybody. Maybe to go on a diet. That's how I'm influencing people.
Okay, so Ophelia's bang on. Like if it's a bunch of social media people, I'm probably game over. Because like I said, I know who Sabrina Carpenter is, if that helps.
I know Lori Loughlin's daughter. That remember Lori Loughlin played Aunt Becky on Full House, and she like ended up going to jail for trying to get her daughter into college. She's an influencer. Her daughter, I don't know what her name is, but I heard it on Howard.
What's she doing? Influencing her mom to go to fucking prison?
Basically, yeah.
Like, how do you what? What is this world? What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
I'm mad at TikTok. TikTok ruined the world, and I'll tell you why.
My mom went to prison for paying for me to get into college, and now I'm a fucking TikTok influencer? What is this world? What the fuck is this world? What the fuck?
I'm going to have to go back and watch Dynamite again. TikTok ruined the world because TikTok, all these motherfuckers shoot like this. Okay? They shoot like this. Shoot like this!
No, I ain't disparaging how people get their income, but the fact that your mother went to prison, like she was Aunt Becky, wasn't she?
Oh my God, that's so funny. Ophelia, that's really funny you mentioned that, and I'll tell you why.
We've got a new segment debuting tonight.
No, listen. When in 2018, like I wanted to be on the radio since I was a little kid. And in 2018, when I was 40-ish, I went to Nate and I took radio and television at Nate in hoping, because anyway, my life got to the point at that time where I could go back to school and pursue what I wanted to do. So when I was 40-ish in 2017, 2018, I went to Nate and I took radio because I wanted to be on the radio since I was a little kid. And when you're at Nate, they have the Nate radio station, NR92. And in your second semester, you could have an after hour, for actual school, you would do day shifts on the NR92 radio station and you'd get graded on them. And then in the evening, you could do after hour shows just for fun. And everybody would sign up for a block of time. And I signed up for a block of time every Monday night at whatever. And I would play punk rock songs or whatever. And my show, I shit you not, was called Old Man Yells at Cloud. That was what my show was called. So you're right on the money with that. So see, she's smarter than the rest of us. Great hair too.
No, yes, she is smarter than me, but smarter than us, frankly. But where my argument comes from is and again, make hay while the sun shines. But your mom went to prison, trying to get you into college, bribing your way into college, and you're a TikTok influencer now.
Apparently, she was making huge money before that ever happened. Before her
daughter was.
Yeah,
why did she bribe her into college?
You should Google it because it's an interesting story. But
I was actually yesterday. I was Googling the Brett Favre scandal for what that's worth. So
what's the Brett Favre scandal?
Oh, he apparently stole millions from
who?
The Special Olympics and registered charities. Brett Favre is well, he was, but also is a bad person.
That reminds me of a.
So I was reading about that yesterday because, to be honest with you, man, like I'm sure all of us have done it. You fall into like either a YouTube spiral or like a Wikipedia spiral. So you just like click the hyperlinks and you find like this probably started from looking up like the Aaron Rodgers trade or something.
Fair.
And
that reminds me of a story that I
from.
want to tell, but I don't know if it's. I think if I tell it in a way, it won't be offensive.
Tell me after the stream and save it for Saturday, and I'll hop on Saturday.
Okay. It involves. I'll put it to you this way: it involves the Special Olympics.
Yeah, probably.
But it's not. It's not.
You know
what
what?
you think.
If
It's not
Brett Favre,
bad.
if Brett Favre is anything to go off of, chances.
I don't like the Poison Rana because everyone comes on their head, and I always worry that
It's 8 o'clock.
Poison Ranas, everybody always comes down on their the crown of their skull, and I'm always worried someone's going to get hurt.
My opinion on wrestling, to be quite honest with you, as someone who, like you've even had more experience, Stad's had more experience. There are a lot of people who are sort of in similar roles to me that have a lot more experience. I have bumped once in my life.
Who bumped you?
And I'll send you the video. And it wasn't anything like official. Like it wasn't on a show where I have never. That was sick. Oh my God, that leg drop into the power bomb.
I missed it because I was
Rad!
looking at your ass.
Well, my face, but they're about the same. Both huge. But
Okay.
I've only ever bumped once in my life, and my theory has always been, and take it with the biggest grain of salt, is that I will trust a wrestler to do anything because I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
That's it. So there are bumps and stuff like that. Like the biggest example that I've got is when Cody Rhodes wrestled with that torn pec. Like I sat and I said, what the fuck is happening? I like discussed it in the like stomach squeezy way, not like upset way. But
like apparently he couldn't have torn it or hurt it any worse. But like,
Yep.
how much must that have just sucked?
Well, and you know, like I'm very much like I'm a backstage guy, and again, shout out to Fightful Select for the best $5 in the biz. But I don't know what goes into, say, a Poison Rana or any of those crazy, insane nuts bumps that I've seen in my life. I have to trust those people because I don't know what I'm doing.
But I think
that's
also
the biggest way that I can put it. There's stuff that makes me uncomfortable, but I don't know what I'm doing. So who am I to judge, right?
I think Cody Rhodes is also smart enough to know that the visual of him taking off his jacket will live forever as a like gasp, oh my God moment.
I watched that pay-per-view with two people that I can't keys the bees for, but yeah, all of us had the very same reaction. I remember watching that match, and again, like queasy is the best way that I can put that feeling. So, actually, now that we close this out, and especially after everything we chatted about on brunch there, not this weekend, but last Sunday, do you think Private Party should have won the titles?
No.
And
I talked about this on last week's stream before the show started. Like the way that you and I talked about it, and I'm not saying this in a negative way, but the way you explained it, I expected that crowd to be like super crazy red hot the whole show or that whole match. And I didn't really feel that way. Like they popped when they were supposed to, but I really didn't feel like they were really, really closing for that title change. So I disagreed with you on that, and I think it's going to happen.
I just wanted to ask.
I didn't have a problem
watching
with that
the promo for the rematch. Nope, that's completely fair. I'm gonna take myself out, or I'm gonna mute myself for a sec, and then let's post show because I guess this is ending right now. And admittedly, I'm saying that so that I can run to the bathroom.
Oh man, I gotta go too. So Private Party are looking to get another title shot, is what I assume is happening because I've been talking to Spencer. Oh, wait, we got to get to what's going on outside. Spencer, I know you're going to the bathroom, but a car is rolling up. And who's getting out of this car? It's Marina Shafir. Oh, no, but the BCC are in the ring. And they are laying waste to everybody. They tricked us again. They fooled me, Jerry. That was actually pretty well done with Shafir in the car, and I don't mind that. Oh, and they're dragging Chuck Taylor in. Oh, they're trying to bait Orange Cassidy. My God.
I have some very neat news for you once we finish this stream.
Oh. What?
And I love you guys.
My question to you is what happened in the bathroom?
Boris, what if I just walked back in and said, I did it, and left it at that?
You should see. Oh, they stopped. They just killed Chuck Taylor. Dude, you should have saw that. Oh, my God.
I just did. I'm fucking behind. Oh, my God.
They destroyed Chuck Taylor. I've always been a sucker ever since I was a kid for the whole wrap the leg in the chair thing. Always been a sucker for that. I like it.
They're going to, and this might be like the way too early hot take. They're going to fucking make Orange Cassidy sting. Like that's what he's going to be in this whole story.
And you know what this kind of, I was going to say, this kind of reminds me of like old Nitros where the NWO would lay waste to everybody at the end of every episode, you know?
Man.
And I know that Tony Khan is like
layers
of stuff, you know?
It's the weirdest way I can put it because like you can have layers to simple. You know, like at its core, this is simple right now. Is there's a group of rogues, there are conflicted people within it, and there are people who have made their choices.
I'm also
like it's very fucking like Japan, NWO, Invasion. You know, I know one of those things is a lot lower ranked than a lot, but like, man, they're gonna turn Orange Cassidy into fucking Sting.
I'm also convinced that Action Andretti and Jack Cartwheel are the same person. Now, before we sign off, okay, hang on.
Actually, Boris, hold on. No, let me Shivani this one for you because I've at least got to do my due diligence if you're going to go through this.
I know I promise nothing, but I'm going to do my best because I have not seen this.
Honestly, Boris and fans tuned in the chat, I have no promises that it's going to work. It is saying, as the pie is baked, that we have 1 minute and 2 seconds here between the matches. Now, what that equates to per match? No fucking clue. What that means for Boris? No fucking clue. Anyways, here's the button. Boris, take us to the outro.
This Friday night, LPW presents LPW 31. Diver Matt Grappler, your main event, LPW Grand Championship. Mars the Specialist taking on a losing streak, Mr. Blake Christian. Oh, they're giving me way too much time.
I was going to say, we've got way more than I thought.
Challenge Championship, Elliot Tyler gets his shot at the leader of the Clandestine Wrestling Society, Michael Richard Blaze. Elliot Tyler looking to unseat the champ. Matt Viviani makes his LPW debut, taking on member of the Rads in good standing, former Scramble champion T.Y. Jackson. Paralira, are they ready to take that next step? Are the Rads on the same page? They're going to go toe-to-toe in tag team action this Friday night on IWTV. Scramble Championship on the line. Eli Surge going to defend against the returning Alley Catch, the unsuccessful champion Pride, Zoe Sager, and Daddy Dean Richter. And then we do it all again.
It looped. It looped. All right. Guess what?
It was going
to
be a lot.
We're going to have this shit better. No, don't worry. We're going to cut it down.
I thought it was going to be tighter, and I was like, okay, I got an extra 3 or 4 seconds to throw in a little extra,
No,
thing
you nailed it. I thought I was prepped. I didn't think I was hopping on this show. Sometimes, friends, I hate to spoil you here. Things in wrestling are improvised.
I know.
You see. So that's what that was. Boris, keep selling because
Sorry,
Go for
quick
it.
shout out Saturday Night Love, 10 p.m. Mountain, midnight Eastern, over on the lawless wasteland that is Twitch. Thaddeus Archer going to join me. We're going to play the Mask or Paint game. We're going to do some other Halloween stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll have something from the Thursday night LPW CWS show to play.
You will. You know what? You will, and if not, I'm not going to commit myself to anything vocal wise.
We'll just make.
I was gonna say, like, I will at the very least have the raw footage, and if not, I'll come in and commentate with you for it.
Oh,
but
even better.
Also, well, no, I can't.
We need
commit
somebody
myself.
good.
I can't. Where are they? I can't commit myself to anything vocal for Saturday night. I want to be there though, but I have to save myself because on Thursday we've got our yearly Back from the Dead edition of Quizplex. It's going to be our biggest Quizplex yet. 8 contestants, 1 winner, thousands, millions, and millions of good times.
And raising money for some great causes as well. That's
exactly. It is very much a choose your own cause until the wrestlers themselves choose their cause. So for the couple, I know that Big Ben Bishop has already tweeted out about what he wants to have his donations directed towards. But for right now, donate wherever is good. If it's got an ist, an ism, or an obic, fuck, I'll give you your money back. You donate to the Nazi party and get the fuck out of our business. Get the fuck out of our fundraiser. Just get the fuck out.
Swear words.
Donate
all right, are we done here?
Hey, if I'm going to lose us money, I'm going to lose us money. I think so. Right. Do we have an outro? Is there an outro for this?
No, I just do the thing and then I cut the stream. But I want to know which
I don't know. I want to figure out which one has music.
I do that thing. That's all I have.
Okay, hold on. Maybe does this have music? No, it doesn't have music. Does it have music? That doesn't.
No,
have music.
This has music. Stop. Okay.
So you know what? We're gonna. Can I click? I'll click the button.
Okay.
And I will say thank you guys for tuning in. But Boris, close the show out, and when you're ready to go, just give me like a thumbs up or a heck yeah, or just go like ah! Or something in the microphone, and right. I'll click the one with music.
All right. Thank you everybody for tuning in for another Dynamite watch along where we watched 0% of Dynamite, but I had a great time. Spencer, thanks for coming and hanging out. I enjoy chatting with you. It's a good time.
Dude, thank you. This was a blast.
I wasn't done. Are you ready?